Good morning. Can you tell it's Christmas? Do you like my jumper? Got the hat to match as well. Good morning. Now recently, you may have seen that I was looking to buy a Mazda MX-5, and even more recently, you may have seen that I actually went out and bought one. And if you haven't already seen the car, here it is in all its wonder. Oh, there we are. It looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this is now my car. I've not hired it or borrowed it or anything like that. This is very much my car, and I'm very excited about it. This is actually a limited edition one. So this is a Mazda MX-5 Sport. This is a Mark II. This is a limited edition. They made 600 of these, 300 of which came in classic red, which is quite a nice colour, but quite feminine, if I'm honest, and 300 that came in racing blue, which is this quite nice navy colour that you see here. Oh, I can't quite get the camera angle right. So yes, it is a limited edition model. It's been really well looked after, but you know, still in pretty good condition. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get driving. Now I've put the roof up. I actually drove it here with the roof down, believe it or not. It wasn't actually too cold. Yeah, I got a few looks, but a few people probably thought I was mad. And also I'm wearing this rather bold Santa jumper today, which is actually really warm, so that's one of the other reasons why I chose to drive with the roof down. But yes, back to the MX-5. Now, as you may have seen, I actually picked this up 2 Saturdays ago. No, sorry, today's Saturday. Sorry, what am I on about? I picked up last week. I've lost track of days. So yes, I picked this up last week from a dealer called Culver Cars in Lerch, who are really, really helpful. You know, really good business. So I'll definitely recommend them. Big thanks to Culver Cars for all their service and support in regards to buying this car. So yes, I've had it a week and I'm still absolutely loving it, and I'm sure I'll love it, you know, all the way through the time I own it. Now, in regards to owning it, this is kind of a medium-term thing. I'm not going to keep this forever, sadly. You know, I'll be honest with you, because I'm still keeping for Seat IB4FR, because, you know, I can't bear to let go of that. I will be running 2 cars at once, and long term, you know, I can't really afford to do that. It's going to be too tight. So I'm aiming to keep this for about a year or so, because, you know, I've always wanted to buy an MX-5, and I thought now would be a good time to do it, because at some point the wife and I will want to start a family, and this kind of car will be quickly made redundant. So yeah, so I wanted to, you know, own one for about a year or so, just to experience it. Yeah, and it was kind of a bucket list thing for me, really. You know, Mazda MX-5 is one of my dream cars. Now I know you may think that's setting your sights a little bit low, isn't it? But you know, I'm talking about an obtainable dream cars. Now I've got plenty of other dream cars as well. Aston Martin DBS, Ford Focus RS, Audi TT RS. Quite a few RS's in there. What else would I like? Quite like a Lamborghini. I wouldn't say no to one of those. An Audi R8. Yeah. So yeah, you know, there's plenty of cars on my you know, sort of dream list. So many that I can't really think of too many at once, because I've just got loads of names just coming into my head. The new Aston Martin Vanquish S, that looks really, really good. So yeah, but anyway, back to the MX-5. Now, I was originally looking at an MX-5 when I went to buy my Seat Ibiza, but I chickened out purely because I thought, well, you know, it's not exactly practical, is it? And it isn't. You know, it only seats 1 passenger. The boot is pretty small, although so far it's been able to swallow up everything that I've thrown at it, although it's not been a great deal, in all honesty. But yeah, you know, this is a car I've wanted to own for quite some time. Now, let's talk about the car itself. So this is a 2000 model. It's a Mark II Sport, which was a limited edition. Just 600 of these were made for the UK market. I don't think they were actually made for any other markets, come to think of it. I think this was a UK only car. 300 of these were finished in classic red, which is quite nice, but it's quite a feminine colour. And 300 were finished in racing blue. Now, with the classic red models, you had wooden trim on the dash and sort of wooden trim on the gear knob and the gear stick, whereas the racing blue ones don't. And I also get the black and blue leather seats, whereas in the classic red model, it's just all black leather. So I actually prefer this because I really hate wooden trim in cars. It's okay if it's a Rolls Royce or maybe a Mercedes, but wood trim in a Mazda MX-5. No, that's really not my cup of tea. So you know, I like the colour. You know, as a colour, I prefer red. But the blue suits this car really well. It makes it look a bit more manly as well, which is fantastic. Now, in regards to what I mentioned earlier about being a sport limited edition, I didn't actually sort of go into the details about what this car actually came with. So, as I mentioned, it comes with this nice black and blue leather scheme. It also had, well, it's also got the body kit and the spoiler, which looks absolutely fantastic. 15-inch alloy wheels. It's got air conditioning. It's got uprated suspension. It's got Bilstein suspension. Is that how you pronounce it? I feel like a right noob for having to ask. Is it Bilstein? Bilstein? No, I'm sure it's Bilstein. Either way, someone will correct me, so I shouldn't worry too much about that. So it's got the uprated suspension, and it's got the limited slip diff as well, which means you get better traction, and it means you can have a little bit more fun as well, which is one of the things I was looking for when I was buying an MX-5. Ideally, I wanted one with a limited slip diff, and this model has it, which is fantastic. So in regards to power, under the bonnet you've got a 1.8 litre petrol engine, which is naturally aspirated, so there's no turbochargers or anything like that. It's mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox, which is arguably the best gearbox I've ever used. You know, there's going to be quite a few cliches in this video because, you know, people have waxed lyrical about the Mazda MX-5 for years and years and years. So as you'd expect from the Mazda MX-5, the gearbox is lovely, the throws are short, they're precise. It's just an absolute joy to use. If you want to experience a really, really good manual gearbox, buy an MX-5. Buy an MX-5 because it's such a satisfying gearbox to use. Don't mind that, it's just a bit of rattling just coming from the roof. Don't forget this car is 16 years old, so there will be a few rattles here and there, but not too much of a bother. Obviously when the roof's down you wouldn't hear that. Now in regards to the performance, you know, don't expect a great deal. 0 to 60 comes in about 8 seconds, and the top speed is, I believe it's 127 miles per hour. Now when the Mark 2.5 came in, the engine did get, the 1.8 engine did get a bit of a power increase, so this engine produces 140 horsepower, whereas the 1.8 litre in the Mark 2.5 produces 148 horsepower. So not a great difference, but a little bit more. And also with the Mark 2.5, if you've got the Sport model, which isn't limited edition, it's a bit confusing. If you've got the Mark 2.5 Sport, that had a 6-speed manual gearbox, whereas the Mark 2 Sport, which is limited edition, gets a 5-speed manual gearbox. And as I've already mentioned, it is a fantastic gearbox. And the car is just so chuckable. Oh, the back just kicked out a little bit, and that was quite exciting. Oh man, I'm gonna have some very fun times with this car. I can sense it, I can feel it in my bones. But I suppose that's, you know, I suppose that's no surprise, because this is a fun car to drive. This really is, and this is why I've wanted to own one for quite some time. We've got a windy road coming up now, so I'm just going to go quiet for a little bit and just drink it all in. Right, pop into third, a bit of power. Here we go. Now this is how Santa should deliver his presents. Not that he'd be able to fit a lot of presents in this car, but who cares? Who cares? I'm sure some people could go without presents, surely. Man, this car handles so well. And the thing is, it's difficult to say anything about this car that hasn't already been said, because this car's been around for over 25 years now, and it's still as popular now as it was when it first came out in the early 90s. Well, I think the first model was produced in 1989, so yeah. At some point I'm going to need to get a little bit more petrol, so I've got to be careful turning it about. This is so good. It's Christmas Eve and I'm spending it just driving about in my new MX-5. Oh man, life is good. Life is good. I can have no complaints at this moment in time. That rattling is a bit annoying though. It wasn't doing that earlier, so I think it's just the way how I've put the roof up. Wasn't making that noise earlier. Anyway, who cares about the noise? Let's do some handling. Now down here, oh, so tight and twisty. Down here, there's kind of two hairpins, and these are absolutely fantastic. Now I think I've got a clear run, so I don't think I've got anything in front of me. I think I'm good to go. Right, here comes the first one. Right, hard on my brakes, make sure nothing's coming. Into the next one, let's pop it in second. Oh god, that's so much fun. Towards the bottom, I just felt the back end kick out just a tad. It just broke traction a little bit. Right, here comes this corner again. Oh, whoops. Whoa. I must have hit something a little bit slippery there. So you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just get rid of your Ibiza and keep the MX-5? Which is a fair enough question, but you know, I've really fallen in love with my Ibiza FR, but I'm rapidly falling in love with this as well. And you know, my other half said to me, look, you're not selling that Mazda. So you know, if I were to sell this, I think I'd have to, you know, I think she'd fight me for it, but probably quite literally. But for me, the Ibiza, you know, I'm a hot hatch person. I love hot hatchbacks. So for me, the Ibiza is, you know, more my kind of car. Plus, it's more practical. You know, you can seat, you know, you can seat people in the back, and it's got a bigger boot. Oh, lovely Audi TT in there. Yeah, you know, it's more practical, and you know, it is faster. Not a lot faster, but it is faster than this. And you know, and of course, I take it on track days as well. I may take this on a track. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And in regards to modifications, I'm not looking to modify this in any way. I want to try and keep it as original as possible. So if you think that I've bought this as a project car to turn it into some sort of drift car, then no, I haven't. Purely because at this moment in time, I can't drift very, very well anyway, so that'd be pointless. And this car has been well looked after. The previous owners had it for 14 years, and it, you know, it has been pampered. So I want to try and keep it as original as possible. So yeah, I won't be doing anything to this car, but I may take it on a track, I may not. It depends how I feel, in all honesty. You know, I just want to enjoy driving this, and I think I will probably do like a living with series on my YouTube channel. So so you know, what it's like to live with, you know, how practical is it? And I know you're thinking, well, it's not practical, but you'd be surprised. You know, I think people look at cars like this and immediately dismiss it as a bit for being not practical, but yeah, you can only seat one passenger and the boot isn't massive, but it's going to be interesting to see what it's like to live with, and I think I will do a living with series with a car. So if there's anything you'd like to know about the car, or anything you'd like to see from the series, let me know. I haven't definitely decided that I'm doing it, because I want to make sure that it's going to be interesting. I need to think of different topics, and I'll be doing it monthly, I'd say. So yeah, if it is anything, let me know. But I realise that I've rambled on for quite a long time now, and for that I apologise. I'm the sort of person where once I get talking, you can't really shut me up. So I'm going to find some petrol before I run out, and then I'm going to find somewhere where I can wrap this video up. So there we have it. I was able to get petrol in the end. I didn't run out, so that's always a good thing. A Christmas miracle. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done already, subscribe to my channel. And the next video will probably come in the new year now, obviously with it being Christmas and so forth. And yeah, so until then, see you soon, guys, and I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Take care, guys.